What's up, guys? Wrestling fan 0011 here to continue my ECW pay-per-view series and continue this with Wrestlepalooza 1998. Oh my god. This pay-per-view was the worst 1998 ECW pay-per-view I've ever seen. This was even worse than Hardcore Heaven 1997. Oh my god. At least Hardcore Heaven, they had maybe a good opener and a pretty good main event too. And, well, all that stuff too. But seriously, this pay-per-view was horrible. This was shit. Alright, and that's what. I guess we'll just review this. Alright. Okay, here's the first match on the card. The first match was the FBI versus the BWO, and this obviously was the worst match of the night. And here's the thing, the FBO and the BWI, Blue Meanie and Tracy Smothers were going at it for a good 2 minutes, and then Blue Meanie Irish whipped Tracy Smothers into the rope, and then Blue Meanie did some kind of little dance as a little taunt, but then Tommy Rich got on the mic and then said, "Okay, we're gonna have a big dance contest now." A dance contest in the middle of a match? Are you kidding me? And then, so they did the dance contest, and it sucked, by the way. And then here's the thing. Referee Jim Molyneux, he helped out during the match. He was slamming Little Guido and Tracy Smothers, and he actually tried to pin them. You kidding me? That's the referee's job. The referee's job is to, make the count, not to pin them. And then here's even the worst part. When Little Guido got another cover on the Blue Meanie, the referee started counting for them. My god, this made no freaking sense. My god, and even the worst part, this match wasn't even all that great at all. They barely did anything. I mean, the only good thing we saw was that Supernova did some okay, leap off the top rope and onto Little Guido and Tracy Smothers and Tommy Rich on the floor. That was the only good thing. And then Supernova got the pin on Little Guido. This match totally sucked. This gets a big fat dud. And here's even the worst part. The opening match is supposed to be one of the most important things on the card. Because seriously, the opening match is supposed to get you hyped up for the pay-per-view. And this totally sucked. I mean, if you have a terrible match opener, then you probably think the pay-per-view will suck, but then you might be wrong, and then you might be right again. This, like I said, this match gets a dud. This sucked. Alright. And then the next match was Just Incredible versus Mikey Whipwreck in a November to Remember 1997 rematch, and this is actually okay. I mean, we did see some okay crowd. This really excellent spot where Mikey Whipwreck suplexed Just Incredible off the guarding rail and through a table.
That was pretty cool. And here, they did this really sick spot as well where, first off, Mikey Whipwreck did a Russian leg sweep to Just Incredible onto the guarding rail, and then he was going to do that again, only off the top rope, but then Just Incredible reversed it, and then Mikey Whipwreck went backwards and hit his head on the guarding rail. That was a really terrible, that was a really bad spot right there. Really sick. And then the finish came where, at first, Mikey Whipwreck reversed a move that Just Incredible did, like some kind of kick-up thing or something like that. And then Mikey Whipwreck hit the whippersnapper, and then Jason interfered, and then he hit the whippersnapper on him. And then Chastity interfered, only this time Mikey Whipwreck did the whippersnapper to her off the top rope. She took that really well. And then Just Incredible snuck up behind Mikey Whipwreck with a steel chair. Mikey Whipwreck reversed that, and then Mikey Whipwreck was going to go for the That's Incredible Tombstone Piledriver to Credible, but then Credible reversed it, and then he hit the That's Incredible Tombstone Piledriver on the chair to Mikey Whipwreck, and Credible got the win. The match was okay, I guess. I mean, here's the thing. The match was only probably 6 to 7 minutes. I mean, this is kind of the same amount of time they had at the November to Remember 97. Seriously, this should have been a little longer. I mean, if it did, then it would have reached maybe 3 stars or something. But I mean, it was okay, I guess. I'm rating this 2.5 stars. Then the next match was for the ECW World Tag Team Championship. Chris Candido
and Lance Storm against Balls Mahoney and Axel Rotten. And this also was a very okay match. Because here's the thing, I mean, back at Living Dangerously on my review, they said that Joey Styles said that Axel Rotten was like the most underrated wrestler in ECW because Axel Rotten could actually wrestle and stuff. And at Living Dangerously, I didn't see that because he didn't really do any wrestling. But in this match, he kind of did. I mean, he did do some like really great hip tosses and stuff, and he did some great wrestling moves, and he actually did them perfectly. I give him respect for that. And the match, it was okay, I guess. But like I said at the match before, it should have been a little longer. We did see some okay tag team moves from Candido and Storm, even though they were fighting in this whole match because of their feud that happened when Candido attacked Storm because Candido thought that Storm was trying to get to Tammy Lynn Sitch, better known as Sunny, by the way. And well, then after the match, the finish came where Chris Candido, Lance Storm hit his finisher on Balls Mahoney, and then Chris Candido hit Lance Storm with a road sign, and then Chris Candido pinned Balls Mahoney, and they won. Oh, actually, I couldn't remember if it was Balls Mahoney or Axel Rotten, but you get the point. And then after the match, Chris Candido and Lance Storm were fighting, and then Lance Storm had the two belts, and they walked out. And I guess this was this is the last time we ever saw those two team up, and I really wish they would have gotten along, because seriously, Candido and Storm were like two great wrestlers, and they should have if they did get along, they would have actually been a really great tag team in ECW. We would have actually seen them hold the belts a little longer. Yeah, so I'm rating this 2.25 stars. Should have been longer, and it was okay, I guess. And then, before I get to the next match, they had another thing going on. The ECW Legends Ceremony. So the four legends here were at first the Junkyard Dog, Dirty Dick Slater, the Masked Superstar, and Bullet Bob Armstrong. Now let me tell you something. Well, at first when the Junkyard Dog came out, and this was the year 1998, this was actually the last time we ever saw the Junkyard Dog here at a wrestling event, which was pretty sad because in 1998, that was the year that he died, I think in a car accident. It was pretty sad to see, but it was still good to see him here. And, well then, of course, Dirty Dick Slater, of course I know what he's like. He was pretty hardcore. And the Masked Superstar, I did figure out the way that how Masked Superstar broke Bob Backlund's neck, and that was pretty nasty. And of course, I do know what Bullet Bob Armstrong is like. So, it was okay seeing him here. I just wish they wouldn't have had this on pay-per-view, because this took a little time off the pay-per-view. Seriously, this should have been on maybe some kind of live event or something that they had. But it was okay to see him here. And then they had a promo in the ring by the franchise Shane Douglas, and he said that he was going to compete tonight with his 3 injuries: a shattered elbow that needed to have surgery on, a broken palate in his face, and a fractured cheekbone. And he kept on getting mixed cheers and stuff. He kept on insulting the fans and all, and he also he also explained why he hated the WWF and stuff, and then he also got cheers for that. So I'd say maybe he's a mixed kind of guy. He's a heel and a face at the same time. And well, then Taz came out, and then he attacked Shane Douglas, and then Taz had be taken to the back, and Taz, when he was put in a cop car or something, he kicked the window, and all the glass was shattering out. That was pretty fun right there. And then Shane Douglas was bleeding from the mouth, so that would have been. So then they thought that the main event wasn't going to happen, but it did. But I'll get to that later. And like I said, this took up most of the pay-per-view time, so this shouldn't have been on here, but the promo was okay. I just didn't... And the Legend Ceremony, we could have seen, at a different place, but all I'm saying is this took a little time from the pay-per-view. Alright, then we go to the next match, which was Bam Bam Bigelow versus New Jack, and this was terrible. We barely saw anything in this match. The only good spots where you'll ever see New Jack on a pay-per-view is when he does those crazy dives off the balconies. And Bam Bam mainly dominated this whole match. And the only good spot in this match we saw was when New Jack, this time he didn't put Bam Bam on a table. He got up on the balcony with a guitar and then jumped off the balcony and then hit Bam Bam with the guitar, and then New Jack was out. But then Bam Bam got up and then brought him back to the ring and hit the Greetings from Asbury Park pile driver and then won. The match was really short. We didn't really see much in this match. We just saw New Jack like run in with like the weapons and stuff. It wasn't really anything special. We keep seeing that every pay-per-view, but I'll never get tired of those big balcony things he does. But still, this match sucked. I'm rating this a star and a quarter. Then the next match was Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman versus the Dudley Boyz, and this also was a very terrible match. Because here's the thing, the Sandman actually came into this match with a injured neck because the Dudley Boyz hit a 3D on the Sandman, and that made him get a broken neck and to the hospital for a little while. And then the Sandman and Tommy Dreamer and the Dudleys were like fighting for a good like 1 to 2 minutes, but then Sandman got whipped into like a guarding rail that was brought in the match, and then he had to be taken to the back, and then for like the next like probably 2 minutes, the Dudleys were beaten down on Tommy Dreamer, and then Spike Dudley came out, and then well the Dudleys had a guarding rail in their hands, and then Spike Dudley kicked the guarding rail onto them, and then at first he was just walking all over the guarding rail, and then he hit a splash on it, and then so I guess Spike Dudley took this place in the match for a little while, and there wasn't really anything special here. And then the Sandman came back out with a neck brace and then was hitting everybody with a Singapore cane. And then Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman hit a double DDT to the Dudley Boyz, and they won. There wasn't really much time in this match, and it wasn't really all that great either. I mean, this is actually one of the main feuds going into this match, and it really sucked. So I'm going to rate this a star and a half. Wasn't really anything special. Kind of sucked. But oh well. We did see but I will, you know what I mean. What happened at Heatwave, they had a really great match for, but I'll be reviewing that later. Alright. Then the next match was the match of the night for the ECW World Television Championship, Rob Van Dam versus Sabu. And, well, this is actually a very nice match. There's like some twisted side with twisting and turning with Bill Alfonso. Like, he was helping both Sabu and Rob Van Dam in this match. And the only thing I hated this match was that they did a really bad botch. Like, Sabu was going to go for, like, his triple jump into a DDT into the table, like as many of you may have seen at ECW One Night Stand 2006, when Sabu did that DDT to Rey Mysterio. But that's what Sabu was going to do to Rob Van Dam, and they totally botched that. He barely went through the table, and they fell off to the outside, and the entire crowd hated that. They were, like, booing, and of course they were chanting, like, "You effed up," or something like that. And then we did see some okay high-flying spots in this match. And then, well, after Rob Van Dam hit like some kind of standing moonsault, the timekeeper's bell went off, and then they went to a draw, and so that's it. I mean, the match was okay. They had a few bad botches in this match, but it was still okay, I guess. So I'm rating this 3.5 stars. If you do want to watch this pay-per-view, and then this is the match that you definitely just want to see, Rob Van Dam versus Sabu. Alright. So anyways, and then we go to the main event, which is for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship, the franchise Shane Douglas versus Al Snow. And this is actually Al Snow's last appearance in ECW, and he actually did put on a pretty good match. I mean, like, he did do, like, this really cool Asai moonsault onto Bam Bigelow and Shane Douglas. That was pretty nice. And then the entire ECW locker room came out and were, like, cheering for Al Snow and stuff. But then, like, when Al Snow went to go for, like, some kind of roll-up or something, Shane Douglas reversed that, and then he got the pin on Al Snow, and then Shane Douglas won. And then after that, the entire ECW locker room came into the ring and held up both Al Snow and Shane Douglas, and then Shane Douglas shook Al Snow's hand, and this did mean that this was Al Snow's last night. And I gotta admit, Al Snow, even though he didn't have, like, a lot of great matches, because he did have a terrible match at Living Dangerously, I mean, he did have some great fans, and that head thing was really cool. I mean, I'm a fan of ECW too. So, yeah, I'm rating this 2.25 stars. Ugh. But overall, this pay-per-view just totally sucked. I mean, if you want to watch this pay-per-view, then I suggest you should watch the final two matches. The 2 hours of the show were complete crap, were complete shit. I mean, this pay-per-view just wasn't even the best at all. So I'm rating this 5.75 out of 10. Yeah, really terrible pay-per-view. So that's it for me. I'm Wrestling Fan 011, and I'm out. Peace.